Nitya, Vinay, Ameya, Rajrishi. So today in the August presence of you three, I am tempted to sort of declare the opening of the center at Kalingalam named Jeevi Yoga Center. Where I would say eligible individuals may land up, or people with certain destiny may land up, so that they will get tuned to the Jeevi or the human creature that is totally in communion with the five elements of air, water, fire, space, and matter, in which the so-called person, the human personality or the self or the so-called human being normally, but actually the self is located, the consciousness is located, the I consciousness is located. In my book, I do not remember which one, I have differentiated between creature and the person. So Jeevi Yoga is about providing knowing to the person so that he or she would do the doing of getting tuned with the engines of the body, mind, intellect, and spirit. So that is Jeevi Yoga. The yoga meaning to unite with. All of you know the meaning. So what I have understood out of my years of reflection and introspection and the proprioceptive investigation, I have found that the basic requirement is our consciousness or our self-awareness or whatever that operating I in this entity should first achieve yoga or tuning or complete what do you call it, association with the so-called creature of this planet Earth. Because that creature was born first. Creature is the formation of the vital principle of the planet Earth, the life principle of planet Earth, into which the consciousness has been gradually inducted by the adult human beings around. So, and that tuned creature should try, or with the cooperation of that well-tuned creature, or consciousness linkage with the creature, only then that consciousness or the so-called person can genuinely achieve self-discovery or whatever I understand as enlightenment or satori. If not, an individual in the current times can gather great lot of noise from existing literature or philosophy or the so-called Veda and Upanishads or listening to the talks, great talks of supreme rishis and mystics and gurus. They will end up just as knowing only, like somebody taking a postdoctoral program in a certain chosen subject. Okay? All the creations or inventions or discoveries have been done by the doing of original individuals, not by people with a great lot of knowing in any field. Whatsoever be the field, whether it is literature or philosophy or varied sciences and technologies and other subjects. So, our yoga is something very preliminary, let us say so. It is not as great as other yogas would suggest you, what you call bhakti yoga or Kriya Yoga or Kundalini Yoga or various other kinds of yogas which are all talking about yoga with something great, communing with God or communing with the universal spirit or whatever. But Jivya Yoga is about the simple thing, getting complete tuning of the consciousness with the with the with the entity, with the creature. Hmm? So it is basically for those who want to become great in our sense, great in the sense of a great human being, like what Abraham Maslow, the great psychologist, would call a fully functioning human being. So here we Jiva Yoga would not only talk about fully functioning human being, also about a human being with a sound health, uh, near impeccable immunity, and also with clear freedom of the so-called intellect or mind. So three aspects: freedom of the mind, or rather freedom from various mental traps, point number one. Point number two, freedom from possible probable illnesses that affect a lot of people. And point four, tuning with the spirit by various methods of yoga, or a compulsory application of some herbal preparation, which we suggest uh, basically Saraswati is from God. So the method of Jiva Yoga is very simple. Someone comes here, first the so-called our blocks to creativity questionnaire would be administered. The mental blocks or trapping the mental blocks would be analyzed, and the person will be helped to resolve or understand the mindsets and gradually solve it. Part one. Part two, practice at least nine basic yoga asanas in order to make the entity, the creature flexible, originally flexible like that of a bird or a cat. And three, definitely intake of Saraswati gold prepared by a Jeevi Yoga center or purchased from some available mm, stores in the market. Plus, they will be given some kind of a clarification on whatever questions they would ask about enlightenment or satori or the ultimate purpose of this Jeevi Yoga. Purpose is clear: a body of impeccable immunity, a clear, free mind, and what? A clear spirit or powers of intellect. That is Jeevi Yoga. All right? Simple. You would like to make real um, highly creative people, people with a plus three sigma level of intellect and mind and spirit. That is Jeevi Yoga. So that's all.
How long it will take to?
That's a good question. I think somebody may have to stay here for minimum 5 days,
Mhm,
5 to 9 days.
mhm.
And only three or maximum nine people can be considered at a given point of time. Maximum. Because this is not about giving long lectures on spiritual properties and propensities of human beings or clarification of Upanishads and Vedanta and other philosophies, etc., etc., etc. In that essence, it follows the basic perspective of Zen only. Not much of lectures, but unlike in the Zen monasteries, here there will be a definite herbal preparation to be taken because of the possible probable frequency of illnesses all around, and considering the number of the statistical incidence of various weaknesses and illnesses and anomalies of the body, freedom of the mind. So mental block analysis may take 1 to 2 days.
Mhm.
Okay, minimum is 1 day. Then uh, um, because it will follow discussion from Zen parables also. Basically, it is a Zen approach only. But extra thing here is, as we know of Zen tradition, we will have yoga asanas and some critical rasana, minimum rasana. That's a minimum rasana, sarasvarshan goal. Then if somebody wants more, that's a choice. So, mental block analysis, 1 or 2 days, then yoga to be clearly instructed. So, Manda Shiva Tripura Sundari is doing MSc Yoga Therapy. Amma also is going to join yoga trainer course. So, it is not just about doing the postures. It requires a complete anatomical clarity of what happens during yoga and what is yoga. As we explained in our previous discussions, yoga is nothing but a stretching. Yoga asanas. Yoga asanas we are talking about. Applying all possible probable fundamental flexibilities to the creature. Because that's also essential. It's all about flexibility. That so-called sixth mental block of flexibility, which is equally valid for the body also. The body also should be free from the influence of anxiety and fear. Hmm? And body should be free from rigidities, and the body should be developing impeccable cat-like sensitivities also. So we see a parallel between mental sets of fear and anxieties, hmm, and mindsets of rigidities and mindsets of sensitivity lag, parallelly operating in the body level also, the physiological process also. So therefore, yoga teaching and training would take at least 3 days. We want to ensure that the person understands the clear knowing and the doing of the yoga, so that he would have a sensitivity to what would happen to the being or the creature as a result of the yoga. And then, okay, 3 plus 2, 5. Then they can take the Saraswati gold made here, or they can go and purchase it from the shops.